Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to today's Smackdown review and opinions video. So much to talk about, so much went down on this Smackdown. I think it really was one of the better episodes of the year. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, Paul Heyman coming back is massive. The reveal of the fifth man is massive. The Jade Cargill moment is massive. I thought the in-ring action was pretty fun. I really enjoyed that women's triple threat, for example, but that does make sense for where we should start. Let's start with the match scores. Then we can kind of go through the other talking points. So Bianca against Blair against Chelsea. This got good 96%. It was quite spot heavy, to be honest, but it was a fun opening match. I don't massively disagree with that score. If it had just clicked into great, I might not argue. I think that's fair. I don't have a problem with it. Then we had the Shinsuke moment, which I thought was brilliant. Really enjoyed it. Then we had LA Knight against Santos. This just felt like it was a bit flat. I mean, obviously, LA Knight gets the win. Shinsuke attacks after. We knew that there was no way that Santos was going to win because LA Knight clearly is going into a feud with Shinsuke, so it didn't make any sense for him to lose here. I think that really took away from the match. You lot still scored at good 97% though. Then, of course, Kevin Owens, Cody, that was great. I thought that was a really good back and forth. Then we had Bayley, Naomi against Tiffany, Candice. You lot scored this match good 92%. I don't massively disagree. I think it was really just a way of setting up kind of Survivor Series, getting all the women out there. Obviously, Rhea coming out was quite exciting. This was the show, really. It felt like every segment had something of significance in there. Obviously, Survivor Series is one of the bigger shows of the year, so you would hope that this show would have quite a bit to it, right? Then we had Tommaso Ciampa against Montez. This was our main event. You lot only scored it a good 96%. I think that's a little bit disappointing considering there's a lot of talk about Montez going off on his own. Tommaso is obviously a great singles wrestler as well. We saw that down in NXT. I'm just not really into the story. I've said before I struggle with Motor City Machine Guns because I don't know them. So they've come in, they've had this success. It feels quite undeserved to me. Like, it's hard for me to feel happy for them when I just have never watched them. Like, I think there's only a small portion of people that have watched them in TNA. Right? It's the minority that watch them in TNA. So the vast majority of us are just seeing some people come in and just win a championship in like their second match, retain it. But I think on both occasions, it was due to outside interference. So I'm with Tommaso. It's like, why are you being so nice to these guys that seemingly have had things so easy since they've been here? And, all right, you can tell us that they're veterans and they've, worked hard to get to this stage, but I haven't seen it. And many other WWE fans haven't seen it. You've gone too fast, too hard. And yeah, I'm just really not hyped about Motor City Machine Guns at all. In fact, I actively find myself disliking them. So I'm with Tommaso. That's my point here. I'm with Tommaso. So obviously we're like, it feels like we're teasing like a split. I don't know if it's building to a split. It feels like we're doing something around a split between DIY. That's interesting. Street Profits are just fed up, and you can understand it. I mean, I suppose they're doing something with the tag division at the moment. Where it all shakes out, I'm not sure. I think they'll just keep going with Motor City Machine Guns as champions. And, they'll just keep the belts on them for a while whilst all this drama kind of plays out around them. You lot scored that as a good 96% anyway for the main event, technically the main event. Then, of course, we get the final bit, which is Solo and his bloodline, Roman and his bloodline, the return of Paul, the reveal of CM Punk. We said as well that this was, I thought, something that was going to get a bit of criticism, but I haven't seen loads of criticism. I was really ready for people to complain about this because a lot of people wanted it family versus family. They wanted it 4-on-4, and that is not what we're getting. Obviously, as soon as we added Bronson Reed, that deal was done. But CM Punk makes even less sense. At least Bronson Reed has got like some size. He looks good in that group, standing alongside, you know, Solo and Jacob. Like, he kind of, the look, it works. CM Punk doesn't really fit in with Roman and the Usos. And history-wise, I mean, you can go back to when CM Punk was around the first time, but the only reason he's really in this group is because of Paul. He's not here for Roman. He's not here for the Usos or anything. He's here for Paul. He's here because Paul Heyman's called in a favor, right? And so that's why he's joined up. So I think the connection is quite loose as to why he's the fifth man. But yeah, so I thought there'd be some criticism on that front. But to be perfectly truthful, I'm not really seeing that criticism. And maybe I'll see it here. I've said we're going to do a longer episode. So I always do my intro and then we go into the comments. Maybe when we go into the comments, we'll see some of that criticism. But overwhelmingly, people love this episode, understandably so. And people love this reveal. Yeah, they really liked it. It's landed. Score-wise, difficult. I do think it's one of the better SmackDowns of the year, but you've only got to look at the scores the matches got to see that these matches could have been better, and that would have really helped the show. I still think the CM Punk thing is a little loose. I mean, I said I was way more excited for Paul coming back than I was for CM Punk being revealed as the fifth man. Like, way more excited. I was way more excited to see Paul. But even that hasn't been explained yet. But I can wait for that. I can wait for that explanation. So, definitely not a perfect show, but a show that I think is really around that 8 range. I am probably going to settle on a 7.75. I don't know that we get to 8. Maybe we do because of Heyman coming back. Maybe we do because of Heyman coming back. That was a great moment that I really enjoyed. But there is plenty here that can be improved, in my opinion. So, my gut is telling me 7.75, so I think I'm going to stick on 7.75 because that's what my gut's telling me. My gut feeling is saying 7.75, but it's one of those. I've said before, if someone took me out for a drink and they were like, come on, this is way better than 7.75, you've got to give it an 8. You know, after a few beers, I think I could be persuaded. So, yeah, a very good show, though. Very, very good show. So, with that being said, let's get to people's comments. So, Mario said, overall, the show was a solid one. I think the best thing of the night was the Rhodes KO. That promo was amazing. Had a lot of realism involved. Nakamura's promo for night was solid. I like the whole dark samurai look for him. Tell me not. No, yeah, I agree. It looks great. People are saying he looks like a Sith. I mean, I'm not sure what his inspiration is. Maybe it is like this samurai, moody samurai. It's a great image as well. So, yeah, Mario, you might be onto something, but Jade said, trigger warning, a post-trigger warning. Well, I don't know what this is, so I'm gonna move because I'm not looking to be triggered. Karen gives it a 10. Here, Lexi said, insane. Heyman is back. CM Punk joining the OG Bloodline. Insane pop for Heyman. Rhea looked funny. Oh, what with her new mask? She's got like this new mask on, hasn't she? Like it's black, it's not see-through. I think it looks better. Trenton said, I enjoyed it. Yeet. Aaron said CM Punk as the 5th member was genuinely a great surprise. Love it. Brendan said CM Punk and Roman Reigns together. Kipata said Survivor Series doesn't have the same pop without CM Punk. Bia said Heyman returning with Punk was the icing on the cake. Watson said Day. What would you rather see? Jacob Fatu hit his moonsaults off the top of the War Games cage, or Bronson hitting his tsunami? Bronson hitting the tsunami. I think that would look awesome off the top of the cage. So yeah, definitely Bronson and the tsunami. Ryan says 7, but Heyman return and CM Punk teaming up with OG Bloodline makes it 8. Definitely didn't see that coming, says Ryan. Richard said, do we think that Roxanne will replace Jade as the 5th woman? Well, we don't know that she's out yet, do we? We know she's out of next week's SmackDown, but we don't know that she's out of Survivor Series. So, no, I don't think it would be Roxanne that would replace. I think it would be someone that's already on the main roster. Plus, also, Roxanne's a heel, and that's kind of the face team. So, no, I don't think it would be Roxanne. I'm still not sold that she's going to be replaced. The reason I say that is because Jade's a big star. So, and they're trying to build her up. So, why would you take her out of one of the biggest PLEs and the last big PLE of 2024? I don't know why you would do that. So, I'm not sure she is out at this stage. Dwayne said Paul Heyman has lost some weight. Glad to see him back. Ben said, good SmackDown. Love the intensity between Cody and Kevin and the GOAT returning. I like Punk, but would have preferred it to stay family versus family, like Lance Anoa'i or Hikuleo added. But it's fine. What's your opinion? Yeah, I would have kept it family versus family, but I'm a little different. I wouldn't have added these because we don't know these and we don't have any time to get to know these. So we would just be putting in a couple of family members that we don't know anything about. So I wouldn't go that way personally. I would have just kept it 4-on-4. I completely agree with you. Just keep it family versus family, but I don't know why it needs to be 5-on-5. If anything, 4-on-4 would have been better because then we could have got through the match a little bit quicker. One of my criticisms of War Games is we always have to wait for everyone to come out the cages before the match even starts. So we could have got through that process a little bit quicker had we have done that. So I would have kept it 4-on-4. Corey said, SmackDown is great. I thought Brock Lesnar would be the 5th guy, but it's CM Punk, and I love it a lot, said Corey. Jimmy said, it was a great show tonight. I'm good with Punk being the 5th member. Let's see how it goes. Keep up the great work, Daze. Jimmy, shout out to you, sir. Carter gives it a 9. Said it was a very solid show. Gabe said it was cinema. Saran said 10 out of 10. For me, CM Punk was the icing on the cake. Carl said SmackDown of the year. All the matches were decent. The Jade shot of her laid out on the car, fire. Chelsea gets her win and is a step closer to her United States Championship. Kevin is right. Shinsuke is finally back on TV. The last 2 weeks he is killing it. How did they keep him off TV for so long? Everything he's done has been pure fire, especially that video. Give Shinsuke the US title. Yeah. And that ending with the Wiseman bringing out the Paul Heyman guy was fire. Brandon says, I knew it. I said either Seth or Punk, and what a wicked way to shoot that out of a cannon. 10 out of 10 overall, 8.5 out of 10. Banging tonight, baby. Also, great stream tonight. Hoping to make Survivor Series. My favorite YouTube handle is GilmeTMB in the chat, bud. Stream 20 out of 10. Brandon, shout out to you, buds. Scott says 10 out of 10. Probably the best ending to a SmackDown in 2024. Epic. Loads of praise here, isn't there? Tons of praise for this show. Sinan said, I think it was an awesome show. Thinking Bianca attacked Jades. Great to see the Wiseman again. Awesome to see Punk back. Loving Ciampa's heel work. Kevin is, in a way, justified. Just for that ending, 9 out of 10. Junior said adding Punk is great because it will help build the story for Seth versus Punk. Also, Heyman is the GOAT, so obviously a great episode with the return. FGC Dads said it was awesome. It was just awesome. So Victor said Triple H is a genius, building future feuds using current feuds. Punk versus Seth is being built using this Bloodline War Games match, and KO versus Sammy as well. The man knows how to play. Jason says 100 out of 10. Paul Heyman is back. LFG. Nice little gif here. Don't mind a little. Look at that. Lovely. Angie said, effing amazing. RRC said, banger show from start to finish. Loved every single match and segment this week. Hayden said, loved seeing Heyman come back, but I would have preferred Seth as the 5th member for War Games. James Grant said, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's a really decent show. Best part was the ending segments. OG Bloodline, Paul, Punk, Bloodline 2.0. Briggsy said, overall, I'm giving it a 7.5. I would have had the Bloodline match before V4, but I think that Punk involved, it gives WWE another avenue to go down with Punk and Seth feud. It's a very good show, said Briggsy. Wrestling XFR said it's a good show tonight, Daze. I've been enjoying SmackDown more than Raw recently, and I think that Punk joining Bloodline for this match, it makes much more sense than having Seth. I think Seth interferes, turns heel. Survivor Series should be a great show. Can't wait. Nishi said this was a fantastic episode of SmackDown. Loved every bit of it. LA Knight versus Shinsuke feud is going to be awesome. Ford versus Ciampa was excellent. And Chelsea winning the triple threat match made many of us happy. And Bloodline segments were awesome as usual. It is true, that was a big moment. Kind of a bit overshadowed by the Jade attack. But that is definitely a moment people were very pleased to see. Pete said it was an awesome SmackDown. It was Liv who put Jade through the window with her partner. Good to see that LA Knight has now got a different heel after him. But bring in Paul Heyman and CM Punk. It's just a seed for Seth to get jealous. Seth will interfere. It's great to see OG united. Cody versus KO, 8 out of 10. OTC said it was a stacked SmackDown. It's one of the best SmackDowns. Cody and Kevin promo was fire. It cooked so hard. LFG, Heyman is back. Punk is the 5th member of the OG Bloodline. LFG. Overall, 10 out of 10, buds. Keep up the good work, Days. Unseen videos make my day. Keep it up, buds. OTC, thank you, my friends. Clay Lewis said, I liked Bayley. She is my favorite. T. Lil says 8 out of 10. But why does Paul look darker than Roman? Must have been lying out on a beach for the past few months. CM Punk is an original Paul Heyman guy after all. But now I'm wondering why Roman couldn't call him. And please, no Charlotte for the new title. People are worried that Charlotte is going to be the replacement for Jade Cargill. There is that concern out there because people are thinking, if ever there's a new title around, Charlotte's normally sniffing about, trying to sniff it out. So, yeah, I don't need Charlotte to have that. She's had a lot in her career. She does not need to be the first holder of that championship. Mackenzie gives it 7 out of 10. Not great, but good. The biggest mystery, who attacked Jade? I've got Bianca, Charlotte, or Naomi, and Bayley as the attackers. Last segment and Cody, Kevin promos, cinema. WWE Triple H are cooking. So glad that we got Heyman's return before the taped show next week. Yeah, well said. Well said. Didn't need those spoilers. I'm sure there's other spoilers we're going to get. Like, I'm sure many of you already know who that person is that's replaced Jade. I don't know at the time of recording this. I hope I don't find out. Sure I will. But, yeah, next week is a taped episode. And again, no complaints on that front because next week is the day after. It's Black Friday. So, first of all, they need time off so that they can get all their bargains, right? I don't begrudge them that. But, obviously, it's the day after Thanksgiving. So, some people might have to travel on Thanksgiving to get to wherever SmackDown would be next Friday. So, taping next week's show, no issues with that. Missy said the show was pretty good up until the end, and then it got awesome. But is Paul's allegiance still to Roman, or is it Punk? Also, can't wait to see Seth versus Punk builds. They've been teasing since Punk came back. Also, will this bring Drew back? And will Seth cause OG Bloodline to lose? 9 out of 10. Matthew said 10, and it's great to see Paul Heyman back. And also, the reunion of Heyman and Punk is great. And the men's War Games match is going to be a good one. And same with Team Rhea. The replacements could be Charlotte or Alexa. Gio the Theo said, I really like this episode. Many will be upset that it's Punk and not someone like Seth, but I'm happy it's Punk over Seth. Also, I think this return from Heyman is more interesting than people think. Paul didn't answer, or he changed his number on Roman without letting him... Did it bring it up on screen? Yeah, there we go. Without letting him know. There is a lot more to this story, and I'm intrigued to see where this is going to go. Yo, the Theo, thank you. Clap, clap. Mr. West said 10 out of 10. My goat returned. Chris said, hello, Daze. Great stream tonight. This was such a fun watch. I'll go with an easy 7. Matches were just okay, but the segments were fire. And could you have a better ending than getting the Wiseman back and CM Punk as the 5th member? I think not. Just cinema, says Chris. Shakeem said, I think it's crazy. Last year, returned. This year, he's in. It's time. Heyman knows how to build some great stories. I think we could get a surprise at Survivor Series, and the surprise McIntyre attacks CM Punk or something. Don't want that to happen. The Rock could show up, or Bronson Reed gets attacked before he goes in the ring. Shakeem, shout out to you. Musically High said it was a very good show. I especially love Cody's energy, and I like the second women's tag match, but too much Bloodline, OG and 2.0. Good overall, 775. Metal Mama said, I'm here for it. Absolutely speechless. Ladies and gentlemen, speechless. LFG. Great GIF. Problematic said, very good show tonight. Lots of story beats and things constantly happening to hold attention. Yes. A classic whodunit angle with Jade getting beaten down. Great promo with Cody and KO. Decent Bloodline segments. And a surprise at the end with Heyman and Punk. 8 out of 10, said Problematic. Kelly the Wise Lady said, well, I don't think I'll make the cut, but I'll give my opinion anyway. Now, we've extended it. And I've gone quite quick to get through as many as possible. Great SmackDown. Matches were okay. Promo with Cody and KO cooked. I was glued to the TV. And my counterpart came back, the wise man. I don't have enough space to say what I want, so I'll end it. 8. WWE Ethan said, I thought this is like a test for my eyes. Honestly, I feel like I'm at an optician's right now. Can you read this line right here? Yeah. What about that one? I think it's the same size, is it? I thought it was great. I love the passionate promo from Kevin and Cody that really drew the lines between fiction and reality. The new storyline between Ciampa, Johnny, and Motor City Machine Guns is really good. And this is what Triple H has been looking for. A good mid-card, intriguing feud. Seeing Paul Heyman back was good and made me happy from how I didn't expect him to return on this show. I was hoping that Brock Lesnar would be the 5th member, but it's cool to see Punk back and after a while out. War Games build is looking good. Thanks, Daze. Well, that's not as I didn't do the build, but I'll take your thanks all the same, WWE Ethan. Mattel said 8 out of 10. Possible Jade Cargill attack by Lash Legends. It's reported that her and Jakara were going to be at SmackDown tonight. Wrestling fan since day one. Shout out to you. Can we go full screen? We can if I do that. Seeing CM Punk as the 5th man was insane. Jade got attacked by Liv and Raquel. That's my guess. Congratulations to Chelsea. She deserves this opportunity to be the first women's US title holder. Matches tonight didn't do it for me personally. Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, I'm here for it. Let's run it back. Shinsuke Nakamura should take the title from LA Knight. Maybe not the first time, but second time for sure. Daze, I can see Charlotte Flair going to SmackDown, taking the title from Nia, and Tiffany takes it from Charlotte. What do you think? There is a rumor that WrestleMania is Charlotte versus Tiffany. So, yes. I don't know if it quite goes this way or how it plays out, but Charlotte being champ and Tiffany getting the belt off Charlotte, yeah. I also think, though, the more that Tiffany gets abused, the more that I can believe she cashes in on Nia. So I wonder if she cashes in on Nia and then, like, we end up with champion Tiffany against Charlotte at WrestleMania. I don't know, but Tiffany Charlotte is the rumor. Maybe she won't have cashed in by that point. And why CM Punk? Why CM Punk want to be in this match when he just went through hell with Drew McIntyre and had to stay away for a bit? Well, I'd imagine he's recovered, and you know he's answered the call from Paul Heyman. SmackDown gets a 5.75. Wow, I think that's the lowest we've seen. The stream gets a 10. Yes. Good night, my friends. Good night, buds. Wrestling fan since day one. Shout out to you, my friends. Boom, boom. Jang Tae Sang said, my lord, what a show. This was one of the best SmackDowns. Heyman is back. Punk joins OG Bloodline. Man, this was so effing good. All the matches were great. Cody and Kevin spit absolute fire. 10 out of 10. Yeet. Somebody said my goat Punk back with Heyman, so... Cinema. The Elite Pro Wrestling Forum said show was great. The women cooked. Men's tag title story is on fire. Main thing is War Games. Stole the show with a double return. For those questioning family ties, Heyman is family and Punk is his family. Sammy is honorary Uce. Enough said. This is perfect. 10 out of 10. Sway gives it 10 out of 10. Raymond said, Daze, I thought SmackDown was just awesome. Like 10 out of 10, it was fire. To see Paul Heyman back and along with CM Punk. And I really enjoyed SmackDown tonight as well. Shout out to you, Daze, my favorite YouTuber ever. Raymond, thank you. Samantha gives it 8 out of 10. Ending was my favorite part. Nothing beats Heyman returning with Punk. Also enjoyed KO and Cody promo. Mello getting in the mix was fun. Yeah, Carmelo getting involved. Elite Pro Wrestling Forum said also Cody is snapping right now. Good stuff all round. 10 out of 10. Al Patata said, I'm happy that after months, Blair finally got some offense. It was a good showing. KO and Cody was great. Same for Cody Mello. Best of 7 did really good in building the two. Ciampa got Vinci'd. I hate that. Triple H is copying Sean, trying to put as many women as possible on TV, but it's making me lose interest in War Games really fast. Jay and Sammy helping Roman still doesn't make sense. CM Punk got the chance at the end, so you know Roman isn't going to like him and Heyman for that. Shinsuke is the GOAT. He should expose Roman if Cross don't. 7.5. I think that's a really interesting point. You know, we talk about how, you know, for me, CM Punk doesn't quite make sense because he doesn't really fit in with the family. And I know that point was just made of, well, he's family of Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's definitely in the family. But, you know, a friend of a friend isn't necessarily my friend. So Punk being family of Heyman, right, it explains why he's the person Heyman's turned to. But it still doesn't mean that he fits in with the bloodline. So for me, like, it doesn't really work. But maybe it doesn't have to. Because as El Patata said here, CM Punk got the chance at the end. You know that Roman isn't going to like him or Heyman for that. Now, I'm certainly not expecting a Roman heel turn. But equally, they made it quite clear that he wasn't thrilled at Punk being involved, was he, at the end of the show? There was definitely words being exchanged between Punk and Roman. You know, he didn't embrace him and go, you know, thanks for helping me out. Really appreciate it. It was none of that from Roman. So, yeah, maybe we can play around with the fact that this is a little bit of a round peg in a square hole, you know? Perhaps we can sort of show some of the distrust, some of the, you know, the looks that Roman gives, like Punk. And it is true, he's going into battle with someone that doesn't really know all that well. I mean, when have we seen Roman and Punk together? I mean, you got to go back to when Punk was last around. I don't even know if they've been in the ring at the same time since Punk came back, to be honest. I can't think of an example. So, yeah. Maybe we are planting some seeds for some distrust. Ellen gives it 8 out of 10. Men's War Games will be great with CM Punk. John Elite said, glad to see Heyman back. Heyman with Punk, or is he with OG Bloodline? Wonder who attacked Jade backstage. I think it's Liv and Raquel. I'd be surprised if it turned out to be Charlotte. It was an awesome promo from Shinsuke. Fiery promo from Cody and KO. Loving this attitude from Tommaso Ciampa. Jeremy gives it 10 out of 10 because of the finish with Punk and Paul's return. Loved the crowd chanting Chelsea's name. She's got to win that title. It was made for her. Right, we've gone a little bit over, but that's okay. Let's have a look at the scores, shall we? And you guys love this show. Look at this. Look at this. So only 84 votes, so keep getting your votes in. Obviously, this is far from settled. At the moment, All Time is leading. Like, was this an all-time episode of SmackDown? I mean, I would say it's up there amongst the best episodes of SmackDown of the year. Cool. I don't know if I could go as bold as to be clicking on the all-time out of the options, but, well, let's see how it plays out. Great is only 2% behind, but I think we're all in agreement pretty much. You know, this was not a bad show. Only 1% of people have said it was bad, right? And so that's, you know, pretty much nothing. 8% said it was good or okay. Look at this. Look at this. Over 90% are just trying to decide if it was great or if it was all time. So I think it really shows this show really delivered for a lot of people tonight. So well done, Triple H. Well done, WWE. And yeah, well on that gives us some real momentum as well as we go to Raw and as we head to Survivor Series. Right, there we go, my friends. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your feedback. Sorry if I didn't get to your responses. We had nearly 80 responses. I'm surprised we got through as many as we did, but I'm pleased we got through as many as we did. So appreciate the support, and I will see you a couple of Survivor Series watch-alongs this weekend. Information all on the Wrestling Daze channel. And of course, we will be back on Monday as well for whatever it is that Monday Night Raw has got in store. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.